Transmitting to you from Old Heart Radio.
Gotta do it for the pod. Hello. Yes, good evening. Either way, wherever you're listening to this, it's an episode of Coffee and Contemplation. That's right. Your Old Heart Radio podcast. Such a generic way to call it. You know what I'm talking about. I just called it an Old Heart Radio podcast, which is true. What is also true is I'm your host, Old Heart, aka Jared, aka me. And yes, this is Coffee and Contemplation. What are we contemplating today? You probably have to reference the title if you want to know. Because why would I tell you, right? I'm just talking into the microphone that is recording something that you are listening. Now you're listening to it, or you turned it off by now. And that's fine too. Because I'm going to tell you what, dear listener, dear hot dog, this isn't about you. It's about me. It has always been about me. Oh, it's so cold. That's right, I'm drinking iced coffee, you bitches. All right, so today, dear listener, dear hot dog, we are talking about conspiracies. So I just started listening to the Joe Rogan podcast that he did with Kanye West, and it already, like in the first 20 minutes, he's talking about the conspiracies of Bruce Lee's death, and I was like, what? I felt so naive. I was like, I didn't know Bruce Lee was supposedly murdered by a Chinese triad. So anyway, that's what I was doing while I was drinking espresso this morning at 6:30 a.m. or 6:45. So I was just like, holy shit, I just want enough conspiracy things in my mind right now to, deal with how quick my brain is running, because I've been drinking coffee all day. Anyway, so I found this website called vertigo22.com. I have no idea what website this is, but I thought it was keen because it has a list of somewhere close to 500 different conspiracies. So I figured, let's go through a few. And they're in no particular order, just so you know. They're just numbered, in whatever order. So it's nothing special about the list itself. Number 1, JFK's assassination. It says, the litany of different things have been tied to it. Like the FBI killed him, the CIA killed him, the Mafia killed him, the Federal Reserve killed him, Lyndon B. Johnson, that bastard. I'm just joking. Lyndon B. Johnson, I don't know. I shouldn't call him a bastard. Maybe I should. Who knows? Anyway, he killed him, maybe. The Cubans maybe killed him. The Soviets maybe killed him. Kennedy maybe killed himself. Jeez, Coca-Cola might have been behind it. Anyway, lots of stuff. Number 2 on this list, Roswell and Area 51. Particularly interested in these ones. The legendary crash, it says here, the legendary crash of 47 has been at the center of many theories. While the official report states that the object was a weather balloon, many UFO enthusiasts insist the object was something else. My God. Could it have been a real alien spaceship, a Soviet spy plane, a satellite? It was a plane that contained deformed Russian children, according to one conspiracy. It was a top secret United States aircraft, or it was a meteor. All right, those are some of the related ideas around it. Number 3, the Illuminati. Everybody knows about the Illuminati, right, by now. It's pretty much out there. It says here, another classic, the Illuminati was a real group way back when. To quote the original founder of the group, Adam Weishaupt, the great strength of our order lies in its concealment. Let it never appear in its own name, but always covered by another name and another occupation. All right, so turns out that one might have some grounding in truth. I definitely, if you don't believe that the elites, which I think is just considered, I feel like people are just like, yeah, that's just a class of people, the elites, which sounds so fucking wrong. Anyway, I think they're all up to weird shit. I mean, Epstein. Okay, anyway, the FBI apparently is on this list. The FBI, according to Vertigo22.com, is the premier law enforcement agency in the United States. The history of the FBI is one that has been marred thanks to the first director, J. Edgar Hoover. Ever since then, it has been sort of looked at like, what's going on over there? Anyway, the moon landing is at number 5 on this list. Project Bluebeam is at number 6. Oh my... This one's like weird. I was reading this before I recorded, but it's weird. I have not heard about it until now, but this one I'm just gonna read right from the website here, Vertigo22.com. Quite easily the most insane and nonsensical conspiracy I've ever heard, according to Vertigo22. The idea behind Project Shit. Shoutouts to all you hot dogs listening. Thank you. Shoutouts to any of you currently not listening. Don't do that. Also, find us on Instagram at Old Heart Radio. Find us on Twitter at Old Heart in Space. Speaking of space, so according to this Project Bluebeam conspiracy theory, it's surrounding the NASA, apparently. It says NASA is devising an extraordinary, realistic 3D holographic technology that they'll use to simulate. Oh, this is a turn here. That they'll use to simulate the second coming of Jesus Christ. This simulation will, in the end, result in the Antichrist being appointed as head of the New World Order, and the end of days will begin. All right, so I'm not saying. I just want to preface this. Old Heart Radio doesn't actually necessarily believe in any of these things. I'm just talking about them. Okay. But that's some weird shit. All right. Anyway, Vertigo22, kudos to whoever runs this website, because they break this shit down. Stage 1 in Project Bluebeam. It says right here, Project Bluebeam is divided into 4 meticulous stages that will be carried out over a period of time. Stage 1. The New World Order, the NWO, would trigger a series of artificial earthquakes in different parts of the world. This would unearth an array of new artifacts, quote, and that would then reveal to us the religious doctrines that billions have followed for millennia have been misunderstood. The end result of this would be that every religion around the world would be discredited in the blink of an eye. And though that would be fucking hilarious, I don't see that happening. This is so weird. Apparently there's claims surrounding this stage 1 that Stanley Kubrick's 2001 A Space Odyssey were used to lay foundations for this stage. The scene involving the monolith was a major part of this in laying what essentially is the psychological framework to be the inevitable unraveling of what we as a species supposedly know in terms of like religion in our world. Also, apparently films like Jurassic Park are propaganda as it teaches us evolution as opposed to the concept of creationism, and subtly feeding children and other naive individuals that God's word is nothing but lies. That's another thing surrounding this stage, particularly. Anyway, super weird. Stage 2, the second stage of Project Bluebeam, would be described kind of like a big production, a massive show that would be seen in outer space. So through the usage of 3D technology that NASA's been developing, remember, we would see UFOs and creatures as described in the Book of Revelations in the sky. This is when something truly fantastical and unbelievable would happen, according to Vertigo22. Religious figures would appear in the sky. Religious figures are gonna appear in the sky, though it correlate with what the country or like religion is in that area, which is fucking weird, you know. Says Allah in Muslim countries, Buddha in some countries, Jesus in some countries, that just says the Jewish Messiah in others. So a big space production, basically, which is fucking crazy. And during the stage, the electronic this sounds like a band name or something. During the stage, the electronic Antichrist, I call it, that's my band name, would be born. Accompanying this event would also be Soviet era computers that would assist in the psychological aspects of these events. So anyway, okay, that's just stage 2, people. Are you still here? Stage 3 of Project Bluebeam. Again, thank you, Vertigo22.com. This is fucking awesome. Stage 3 apparently involves telepathic two-way communication that will consist of transferring artificial knowledge via satellites. What the fuck is Elon Musk has been trying to launch a ton of satellites in the sky to get more quote-unquote internet out there. Look it up. Anyway, so apparently this knowledge will enter the brain enter the human brain and result in mind control. Jeez. Monast? Who's this Monast guy? Like, who the fuck? Did I miss something here? I keep saying Monast. Like, is this the dude that fucking, like, he sounds like, I don't know. Anyway, some dude is quoted as saying, as describing it as, such rays from satellites are fed from the memories of computers that have stored massive data about every human on Earth and their languages. The rays will then interface with the natural thinking to form what we'd call diffuse artificial thought. That is fucking crazy. But that shit, I mean, like, no joke though, they're trying to they're trying to get a bunch of shit in space. Anyway, stage 4, before we run out, stage 4, the final stage of Project Bluebeam is consisting of 3 separate parts. Shit! The first is to run propaganda that will fool the world population into believing that there's an enormous alien invasion. Really? That's a horse beaten to death. The other, whoa. There's so much here. The second stage is to convince Christians that the rapture has begun. The third stage is to activate the special microchips that are in people and things. This shit's fucking crazy. We have to go. I just want to say, shout outs to Vertigo22.com. I don't know who runs it. I don't know where the fuck it came from, but it's on the internet, and it is a wonderful source of weird fucking shit. Like, do you believe this shit? Project Bluebeam and shit? People believe this. Like, actual other people believe this shit and don't just laugh at it. And that's what's fucking crazy to me. Anyway, go out there, use your brains for good, because every day is a good day to wrapping up your coconut. Why? Because why not? I mean, if not, then you're just here listening to this podcast. Which reminds me, follow us on Instagram at Old Heart Radio, and follow us on Twitter at Old Heart in Space, and keep your stick on the ice.